In this JavaScript lesson, we'll continue to learn about variable scope and hoisting. This is lesson 2.4. Here are the list of items that should be running at the background while we are going through our lessons. Map server, Apache server, Sublime text editor, localhost 8888, console, and htdoc. At the same time, we'll have variable underscore scope.html opened in Sublime Text Editor before we'll proceed with our lesson. So go ahead and have that file ready. Going back to our topic, variable scope and hoisting, lesson 2.4. The objective of this lesson is to comprehend the details of variable scope and hoisting. So if you have the variable underscore scope.html file open, then we'll be able to see our codes like this from where we stopped yesterday. Function say hi, var username Elden, var num, console.log num, console.log hi plus username num equals 5 and console.log your favorite number is number. We are going to focus on hoisting in this lesson. Now, hoisting may be a little bit misleading, especially if it's your first time to hear this word. However, we'll be able to get along with this as we go along our lessons. Hoisting. All right. Hoisting tends to imply that all of it gets hoisted up to the top, but it's only the variable declaration. Again, only the variable declaration is hoisted up, not the assignment. So var num is the declaration of the variable's existence, if you will. And num equals 5 is actually where we set it. So keep that in mind, that in general, going forward, that when we create a variable down below, encircled in red, the variable itself gets created up above, even though it doesn't get assigned later. Now for this reason, we'll do something like this. A lot of people would say it's best practice if we put all of our variable declarations up to the top. It's actually circled in red, and then use your variables down below, circled in blue. Num equals 5. Notice those changes. I tend to agree also because then, as we can see here, at a glance, the one encircled in red, all of the variables within the current scope. We don't have to go hunting with our codes somewhere here, encircled in blue, to be able to find them. In addition, it tends to minimize confusion caused by variable hoisting. So there goes the answer to some confusion now. Just to summarize about this lesson and clarify some confusions, variable scope is defined by the curly brackets of the function. Again, variable scope is defined by the curly brackets of the function. So, username and num do not exist outside of this function. As you can see there, highlighted in green. The variable foo is outside of the function. Again, the variable foo is outside of the function. Next point is hoisting. If we make a variable down here, encircled in green, var bar equals hi, the var bar here will be hoisted up to the top. Okay, again, that var bar will be hoisted up to the top like this. Okay, that's encircled in green. And the bar, and then the bar will be assigned to high down below. As you can see, they're encircled in green again. Now, if this does seem a little strange, it is one of JavaScript's idiosyncrasies, but it's definitely something that's good to know about. So that when we have an error caused by a misunderstanding of hoisting, then we'll be able to figure out what causes the problem. But we can avoid it by declaring our variables at the top of the scope that the variables exist within. Now, one last note about variable scope. We can actually have two var_foo encircled in green. var_foo equals hey, and we console.log foo in here, encircled in red. We're gonna get hey, and we're not getting high. And that's because hey variable is closer than the high variable. So the innermost scope is what's gonna win, and it's gonna be faster as well. If we're doing something in a loop and we're something again and again and again, generally speaking, JavaScript will get performance benefits. If we declare our variables in the current scope or in a closed scope, the further out we need to go in terms of scopes, and we can have scopes within scopes because we can put functions inside functions. The further out we have to go, the slower that variable lookup to be, and the slower our app is gonna be. So this is not something to worry about, but it is something good to know about. That's all about variable and hoisting. Hope we learned something new today. Thank you.